Hi everybody and welcome to this introduction to JavaScript. As you're watching the video, don't forget to stay focused, pay attention, and don't be afraid to try out the things that you see in the videos. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, welcome to this brief tutorial in JavaScript. In the last tutorial we were looking at how to manipulate the input tag in JavaScript. And in today's tutorial we're just going to have a look at a different element using a different tag, the select tag. Okay, so let's just dive straight in. Let's get started. First of all, what is the select tag? Well, let's see if we can find an example of a select tag in W3 Schools. Here we go. Here's an example. Let's try it out. So this thing here, I would call it a drop-down list. This is a select tag in action. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy these HTML tags and I'm going to paste them into my project, and let's just make them a bit more readable using tab on the keyboard, so we can quickly see that inside the body of my web page I now have a select element, and inside the select element there are 4 options in the drop down list. Okay, each option has an associated value, and I'm guessing that this is the thing we're going to be playing with in JavaScript. Now what I want to do is, when I select one of these values in the select tag, I want an associated image to appear under it. So I'm going to set up an image tag with an ID so that we can play with it in JavaScript. Let's call it car image, but I'm going to leave it empty at the moment. So when I select Volvo, an image of a Volvo is going to appear here. When I select Mercedes, an image of a Mercedes is going to appear here. Okay? And I'm going to show you what's in my project folder just so that you can understand how I'm going to do this. I've got an image of an Audi, an image of a Mercedes, an image of a Saab, and an image of a Volvo. And if I right-click and go to Properties, I can quickly see that these images are .jpg images. Okay? So first of all, let's see if this is working, by the way. Let's save that and refresh my web page. Brilliant. So here's my select element, and these are the 4 options in the drop-down list. Okay, so that's working. Now what I want to do is, when I select an element, I want to see the value associated with it, right? Each option has an associated value. So let's see if this works in script. Var car equals document.getElement by ID. Well, it's this element here, the select element. The ID is cars dot inner HTML. Hopefully that will give me the selected value. To check that, of course, we're going to use console.log to see what this variable is going to store. So let's do that. Let's save this and let's go back to our web page and refresh. And let's open up the console so we can see oh dear, what's that? Whoa, it's showing me everything that's inside the select tag. It's showing me all the HTML. That is the inner HTML of the select tag. There it is, look, all this stuff here is the inner HTML. I don't want that. I just want to get the value of the selection. Okay, so it's a bit of research. HTML select tag value in JavaScript. There you go. Let's see if that brings up something useful. What does it say? Change the selected option. No, we don't want to change the selected option. We want to get it. We want to get the option into JavaScript. Return the value of the selected option. Yes, we want to get the value of the selected option and assign it to a variable. And then we can play with that value. That's what we want. So it's not inner HTML. It is value. So let's save that and refresh my web page. Yes, we've got it. Volvo. So hopefully when I change the selection, we'll get the new value. Oh, nothing happened. Why not? Oh, right. Do you remember when we had a button, and when we clicked the button, we activated a function which did some work for us? I think we're going to have to do the same thing here. When we click the select, then we will see the selection. So let's just see if we can make that happen in our JavaScript. I'm just going to make a function called display car. And when we call this function, it gets the value and it displays the value. And let's here just add, of course, our onClick. So when we click the select tag, we're going to call this function display car. Okay? Click the select tag, call the function, it will grab the value, and it will display the value for me. So let's see if that works. Click. Oh yeah, it worked. Yay! Oh, wait a minute. Every time I click, it's grabbing the value. I'm not changing anything. I'm just clicking. I don't want to do that. I want it to show me the value only when I change it. Let's do a little bit more research. HTML select change selected value. Let's have a look at that. Is there a W3 schools? There's a W3 schools. Don't think that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the selected index. I'm just looking... the value. Yeah, the value. No. Let's try again. Select tag change value JavaScript. Let's change that. Let's have a look at that. On change. Let's have a look at that. Select on change. Not on click this time. We're going to use something called on change, and we're going to call the function to do some work for us. So let's change that. It's not on click. It's on change. So when we change the selection, we call the function to display the value. Okay, so let's save that and see if it works. So let's just do some clicking. Nothing's happening this time. Good. I don't want anything to happen. Just want it to show me when I make a change. Yes, okay, we got it. Yes, that's exactly what we want. Now then, guys, this is going to be your challenge. We can grab the value and put it into JavaScript. We're grabbing the value. Now, these values that are in the select box are exactly the same as the names of these images. So can you figure out how to use this data to change the source of the element with the ID car image. So if I choose Volvo, a picture of a Volvo appears here. If I choose Mercedes, a picture of a Mercedes appears here. Does that make sense? And remember, the images associated with this project are all .jpg images. Have a go, see if you can figure it out.